Eat the right foods. Take care of yourself. Remember, the right food is love. Hello, hi Shredders. I just thought I'd check in and do some more questions while I had a free moment. Let me make sure, one, that I'm coming up and you can hear me. Where am I? Where is she? Let's see if I'm here. All right. Waiting for the pop-up. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. That might help it come even faster. I'm going to be doing questions that are from the thread that says, ask us all of your healing questions. And it looks like this. Let me get it. All right. Healing questions. That's what it should be coming from, okay? So if you don't know how to get your question posted, that's what you're going to look for, okay? Now let me pull up the actual questions. So I'm just going in order from all the questions that have been already posted. And hey, Stephanie, you're online. Can you hear me? Because I'm not seeing me yet.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I just got an affirmative from Master Tadlock back there. So, all right, sweet. Let us hit some questions. All right. I hope you guys are thinking about the holidays and how you're going to make them healthy. Right? There's no reason why you have to get sick and fat on the holidays. A lot of people just, guess I'm going to gain 5 pounds. No, you don't. You don't have to. Make the holidays about love, cheers, singing, family time, friends. Doesn't have to be about food, right? All right. So, Rose Crunchy. Hey, Rose. When I find fungus mold that looks like snowflakes on my kale, I throw those parts out and don't eat or blend them because I'm sensitive. Would you recommend that? Because if I don't have to throw them out, I'd like not to. If I saw something that looked like mold on my kale, I would throw it out. I have not seen what you're talking about, but just to be safe, I would not eat anything that looked moldy. You don't want to get sick. All right. Karen Larvik, do we need to supplement with DHA? So not necessarily. You do need to take omega-3s though. That is really important. That's a vital part of not only Smoothie Shred program, where you're trying to get yourself as fit as possible and start to bring up your health, but in general, and especially with healing, we need high levels of omega-3 to combat all the inflammatory omega-6. We recommend you get it from flax and chia seeds. Your body can produce EPA and DHA from those seeds if you're not getting a lot of omega-6. So omega-6 hijacks the whole pathway. So if you're eating anything with processed foods, stuff with oil, any animal fats, any dairy, that will hijack your omega-3 pathway and make your body struggle to produce much, if any, omega-3s. I go into this in detail in my classes. There'll be some coming up in January. If you go to goodbyelupus.com, you can find a banner to sign up for the next free classes. So I go that into detail, but you don't need to have a specific DHA supplement. I was just being interviewed yesterday where the interviewer was saying, there's some vegan docs that say you should take an algae EPA DHA supplement. Said that'd be great because algae is where the fish get their DHA and EPA, by the way. Fish oil gets it, the fish get it from algae. Problem is, every algae supplement I've found so far dissolves the algae oil in sunflower oil. Sunflower oil has some of the highest omega-6 of any of the oils that people commonly use, so that ruins it. So I recommend you stick with the flax and chia and avoid the omega-6s to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to your omega-3 pathway. Serena Duperly, what are your thoughts on acidity and alkalinity in the body? The thought is citrus is cancer-causing, banana, pear, and apple are high sugar fruit. So you want to have a body that is alkaline. And what that means is, you're looking at pH, right? So acids have a low pH, bases have or alkaline have a high pH. We should naturally have a higher pH. And we've associated that with health. We've found that through science that alkaline is better for our health. What is interesting though is that the alkalinity of the food you're eating, like the actual pH of the food you're eating, does not translate into the pH of your body. So eating a diet that's really, really rich in vegetables and some fruits, even if it's an acidic fruit, it doesn't mean that it's going to cause acidity in the body. Whereas meat and dairy cause a lot of acidity in the body. So we can't necessarily predict what will cause acidity based on the actual acidity of the food itself or food-like substance. So in general, if you want to have a super alkaline body, you're going to eat tons and tons of vegetables. They're the most alkaline. All right. You can also eat fruits. But if you're looking for healing or fat loss, you want to minimize the fruits to about 25% or less of your diet. You want to avoid animal products and processed foods. They're going to be more alkaline. And that's definitely the way you want to go. Good question. All right. Let's see here. Next. We got Lori Young Colapreet. Hi, you guys. Hi, you back. Is this flax milk totally off limits during healing? Thanks. What about maintenance? Would you drink this, Thomas? All right. Well, I'm not Thomas. Let me see. Hey, Thomas, would you drink this flax milk? So it's flax milk, pea protein, pea starch, some extracts, sunflower lecithin, sea salt. I will tell you this much. On the healing protocol, we don't use any processed foods. So anything that's got pea protein in it, there's some processing there, right? They pulled the protein out of the pea. So I would not use this for healing. It probably would be okay in the muscle building world because they're doing some pea protein. So I'm going to leave that one there so Tom can weigh in on that when he's ready to. And Jesse wants to know, do you believe that vaccines can cause autoimmunity? I'm going to pick on your wording here. So it's very important to me that when it comes to health, I don't talk about beliefs. It's not a religion. I don't want it to be about my beliefs. I only focus on results, what happens in real people. So when it came to the whole vaccine issue, I hadn't thought about it too much till I had children, right? And having had autoimmune disease for much of my life, I wanted to make sure everything I did was the best for my children. And I had a bit of healthy wariness around Western medicine recommendations. Since it was doctors that told me to give kids dairy when I was in training, I had a little bit of wariness. So I dove into the research and I looked at huge summaries of research done all over the world, thousands and thousands of people, and the impact vaccines have made on culture, on society. And overwhelmingly, the science shows that vaccines save lives. And especially people with autoimmune disease. Anything you can do to boost your ability to fight back anything that could be infecting you when your immune system is compromised is been shown to be a benefit. So I have not seen evidence of a causal relationship there. Now, autoimmune disease can be triggered by any stress on the body. So there are many different ways to stress the body, and most people I see, it's kind of a perfect storm. They had a lot of stress, they were eating a lot of junk food, they weren't getting a lot of sleep, somebody died in the family. There's so many things that happen that could have to trigger those genes for disease. And I have really rarely ever seen one thing be the culprit or seem to be the culprit. People ask about Epstein-Barr virus. When I heard about Epstein-Barr virus, I was in college and I got all excited, like, oh, maybe this is what people with lupus, this is where it comes from. Then I found out almost every young adult tests positive for Epstein-Barr virus. So, you know, if they were only testing people with lupus, they would think it was connected to lupus. Once they tested everyone, they realized no. So could it contribute in some people who are already stressed and it just is another stress in their immune system? It's possible, but the research doesn't support that. What's happening in real people doesn't support that. And that's what I look at. But I have seen single things trigger people. Like I had someone message me that they had an autoimmune reaction to silicone breast implants. So the implants leaked and they developed autoimmunity based on that. Sometimes people can develop a lupus-like syndrome from a reaction to a medicine. So there are instances like that, although were they already stressed in some way to lay the groundwork? Most likely. But vaccines does not seem to be a very strong link for most people. Okay, here we go. How are you guys all doing? All right, let's see here. This is another one for Thomas. Oh, there's some for Thomas here if you can do it. All right, let's see. Hi, Thomas and Dr. Goldner. I don't eat sea veggies, and I don't have a lot of salt that would provide me with iodine, but need to watch for anything with supplementation. Thanks for all you do. Broccoli. A little broccoli emoticon. So I have a stool over here if you want to use it. You're getting some Thomas tea. All right. So let me just answer that one really quick. So when it comes, so you want to have something that has some iodine in it. So if you don't eat table salt, then you want to have some. I think miso has some, but have something with some iodine in it. You can always get your levels tested if you're worried about it, especially for people with hypothyroid. That's really the only issue. So let me take that one out. That was to Jody. All right, this one here, there's two. So let me go to the first one. No, okay. This one. Lori wants to know if you would use this during your muscle building, this flax milk.
Hi guys, this is flax milk totally off limits during healing. Thanks.
I talked about that part.
Okay, so let's see. The ingredients are flax milk, filtered, cold pressed, organic flax oil, pea protein, pea starch. Okay, great. And numbers.
So I said no for healing.
Okay, so I guess you're after.
In there, but...
I guess what you're after is the 8 grams of protein that's in it, and that's it. Okay, so the question is,
would you use that when it comes to fitness? Use it? I said no for healing because I don't want any additives.
Once you're totally healed, I guess it's worth experimenting with it. So there's 2 ways to kind of go about this. Is first, without using this, using all the foods that I would typically recommend in Vegan Muscle Project, is you want to be able to track the rate of muscle building. Like, you want to know what your real ability is to build muscle, how quickly you can build it, and then do a real switch out replacement. See if you swap out any pea protein powder that you would normally use to get the equivalent amount of protein in this, are you able to build the same amount of muscle using this? That would really be the one way to know if it would work or not. Yeah, you have to test it.
See, Tom will make up theories. He'll test it. So you haven't ever tested it.
I've never used this product before, and it's not even close to anything I've ever used. So that's why I really don't know the answer to it. I mean, I'm not looking at I don't see any ingredients that are going to hurt you if you already are completely healed and you don't have to worry about a disease that you're trying to reverse. But as far as will it work to build muscle, I don't know. I'm not sure. Hi Thomas, this is from Serena. How do I work through the fat killer volumes? Super sore after the first time. I ran and sprinted. I guess it takes time for the body to adjust. Any thoughts? Okay, cool. So here's what happens. Yeah, when you do fat killer for the first time, or if it's been the first couple of weeks, you are going to be sore, which means you're doing it right. That's exactly right. So what you do is to continue being able to do fat killer. You've got 2 options. Number 1, you can continue to run, because what happens is once you start running and your muscles get warmer and the fluids start pumping through, you actually stop being sore during the run. It's not until after it's over. The second option is use a completely different modality. So if on day 1 and 2 and 3 you did running and sprinting and your legs are just completely beat up, well then on days 4, 5, and 6, do rowing, where it's a little bit legs, but a lot more upper body. Or if you have access to an upper body ergometer, that'll work. Or if you want to jump in the pool and do like swimming, where you're not really kicking your legs. Instead, on sprints, what you would do is just an all out. You would just lace your legs together and then just do an all out upper body sprint. You could also replicate this doing exercises on the floor using what do you call them, gliders, which are the same thing as big furniture movers, where you're sliding them on the floor left, right with some resistance. So you could change the exercise modality so it hits muscles that aren't currently sore. I hope that makes sense. And then you do that for a couple of days, get those muscles sore, and then go back to the running, where by that time they should be healed enough where you should be able to do them again without pain.
Sweet.
So those are the only 2?
The only 2.
Just call me over if you have any more.
All right, sweet. Thank you. There he goes. Love him. Okay, anyway, let's get back to that. Sorry, he distracts me. 13 years together and I have to watch him go. All right, let's see. So Jasmine wants to know, how much does it cost to work directly with you guys? So Jasmine, that really depends on the kind of work you're looking for. So are you looking for a consultation? So first of all, I don't know if you mean with me for healing, or with Thomas to go over your fitness plan. It really depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a consultation, let's say with me, where you want to spend an hour, usually it's a little bit more than an hour, going over everything you're eating and what's going on in your lifestyle and coming up with your personalized plan. Here's how I want you to eat and what I want you to worry about for your sleep or your stress or all that stuff. I create a plan for you that I then give you a copy of. I email you the plan that we talked about. And you run off with that and you go forth and you apply it, I hope. That's $397 US. For follow-ups, it's a much reduced cost for people who just need to follow up, talk to me for 30 minutes. Is this right? Did I do this? Did I plateau? That kind of stuff, if necessary. There's a lot of people who see me once. I actually just got off the phone with someone who followed up with me to tell me that she's better. I saw her a month and a half ago for autoimmune disease. She's already completely symptom-free. With it's like 6 weeks since I saw her. So that was cool. She just wanted to know if there's any tips for going forward. A lot of folks don't even need to do that. And so it really depends what you're looking for versus rapid recovery. So rapid recovery is a plan in my hand is not going to do it. I do not have the support or motivation or the confidence, or I tried it and I couldn't make it work. Rapid recovery is everyday help. So if you want my help every single day to make sure you're eating right, that you're sleeping right, that you're handling your stress correctly, and to keep encouraging you and motivating you to get better and stronger and do it even better and do it even better. We get on the phone anytime you want, literally unlimited access to my cell phone every single day. I can only see 2 or 3 people a month that way, depending on if I have a group running. So that is just under $5,000 for 4 full weeks of everyday contact to make sure that you do it right and that you're getting results. So that's one. And then rapid recovery group, we do it as a group format online where we can get more people at once. I'm able to do that for half the price. So the price of the group is going to go up. Right now is $24.95, so just under $2,500 for 6 weeks, and you get Thomas and myself every day for 6 weeks. We have weekly meetings that are at least an hour, sometimes 2. You can get your questions answered every single day, and every single day we give you personal feedback on your diet, your plan, as long as you post. You have to participate. If you don't participate, you're not going to get the feedback. So those are the current most common ways people work with us. And it's effective, especially for folks, a lot of times people make a Skype appointment with me because they think they're doing it right. And then I meet with them and go, whoa, okay, you totally didn't. and I tell them how to fix it. And I'll say, here's how you do it better. Here's how you do it even better than that. Here's how you do it the most rapid way possible. Versus, like I said, daily help, which would be one of the 2 rapid recovery programs. If you go to goodbyelupus.com and you click on the part that says Goodbye Lupus, you'll see all the different ways that you can work with us or work with me. If you're looking for Thomas to get a personalized fitness plan, reach out to Thomas or to me and let me know, and we can help you get that set up. He doesn't really do one-on-ones much, but it's still possible to do that if you're looking for that. He also has a trainer that's trained in our protocol that give people online personal training to go with this nutrition plan. Because a lot of times other personal trainers will tell you that you have to eat meat or all this other stuff. And you're like, no, I'm doing the smoothies. And they don't understand it. So we have a really awesome trainer who is trained in our protocol, has worked our groups before. She knows how to make it work with the, and she's a bodybuilding champion who's won on stage, So those, and she's much less expensive than working directly with Thomas, but she answers to Thomas. So if there's any issues or questions, he's the one she talks to. So a whole range of things. So I would suggest if you want to work with him, that you message him directly. So you can message him through Facebook, right? And he should be able to help you with that. So, okay. So hopefully that answers all the different things, Jasmine, for you. Why is it not letting me delete them now? Okay. Jeannie Norton, you have mentioned use vitamin E gel for your skin. Where can I get some? Brand, etc. So one of the best things in the world about eating healthy is that you don't have to spend a lot of money on skincare. I do not spend much money on skincare. I'll tell you a secret. I don't actually wash my face. And I don't use foundation. So what you're seeing is my skin. This is what I look like. I use eye makeup. I like a little blush, a little lip gloss, but there's zero foundation. What you see on my skin is my skin. I don't wash my face. I just use water. So I use mineral makeups that just wash off with water easily. And then I'll put some vitamin E gel. I like the Jason brand, Jason. It's like $11 for a container of the cream, or might be 15 to 20 or something for a little bottle of the gel. And with the gel, I just mix some water. I wet my hands and I put the gel on my hands and I do that and I put it on my skin. Just make sure when you're using the gel, you have time for it to soak in before you hit the sack, because then it'll just wipe off on your pillow. Or on your husband if he tries to make out with you too soon after you apply it. then you will moisturize him as well, which is fine. That happens all the time in my house. So it's really expensive, but I like the Jason brand. You can get that at Whole Foods, Sprouts, or on Amazon, no problem. All right, so now let me delete these. I'll do it later. Tammy Perry Cockerell. Can you weigh in on coconut meat, full fat or light milk? Well, really the cream part. I know it's high in fat, saturated fats, thoughts. So what I have seen is that when people are eating coconut or coconut milk that has the fat still in it, that doesn't impair their results. They do fine. Coconut oil absolutely interferes with results. Coconut oil is not a health food. It's not good for you. So that would be my answer. Now, I don't think you should have lots of it, but if you put a little coconut milk with the fat in it, mix it up, a little creaminess, mixed in with some, other foods that you're eating that are raw foods, and it makes it taste good and creamy for you, I think that's fine. But don't go crazy on it. If you don't even want to have that as a factor, then if you buy coconut milk in the dairy section, that doesn't have any other fats in it. Okay, what food should be avoided for Alzheimer's prevention? Also from Tammy. So I actually got to know some folks who study Alzheimer's. They do Alzheimer's research, and Thomas and I were keynote speakers in Plant-Based Utah's event, and the other speakers that came were a husband and wife team also, it's pretty cool, who do Alzheimer's research together. And they showed that when they're looking at the food causes of Alzheimer's, number one was eggs, which was really interesting, and second was chicken. And I went, whoa, like people who think they're eating healthy often eat eggs and chicken, but they get rid of red meat, right? But those were the number 1 and 2 food causes, followed by other meats and then processed foods and sugars and things like that. So I found that really, really interesting. When you're doing 100% whole food plant-based diet, you're getting in tons of ALA. So people think that just DHA and EPA are effective, but there was a study done in Japan that showed that the amount of ALA people ate positively correlates with preventing and reversing Alzheimer's symptoms. ALA is the primary fat in flax and chia seeds. So very important. So all of that is really important. Good question. Susie wants to know, how can I reverse Hashimoto's? So that's a great question. Hashimoto's disease is an autoimmune disease, and it attacks the thyroid. Now, unfortunately, in Western medicine, all we do is wait till your thyroid is so low functioning that you need to take a thyroid medicine, and then we replace it with a thyroid medicine. We replace the hormone, but we do nothing to stop the autoimmune disease. Isn't that strange? And maybe it's because once the autoimmune disease runs its course, there's no thyroid left. So therefore, your doc's like, okay, well, there's no thyroid left. We replace your thyroid hormone and move on. Problem is, it doesn't go away. Anyone who has autoimmune disease knows that it continues, right? It's like an engine that's running under, so first the engine was running and it attacks your thyroid, and then it keeps doing other stuff. That's why a lot of people come to me with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, Sjogren's. They got Hashimoto's first, and then they took their thyroid hormone and they continue to progress. So you have to deal with the autoimmune disease, right? Because it's going to continue to cause problems. So how do you do that? The same way we do it in lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, all these other ones, is the Hyper-nourishing Protocol. So I've had someone with Hashimoto's who did our group, and her main issue was, my thyroid numbers are fine with my medicine, but ever since I got this illness, I'm tired and I've never been able to lose the weight. My skin's still not healthy. I don't look healthy. I don't feel healthy. She did 6 weeks of rapid recovery. In 2 weeks, she already was recovered. So that was it. She was like, I have amazing energy. She started working out all the time. She was telling us she was doing push-ups. She was back to wearing her clothes that, by the end of the 6 weeks, she was back in her clothes that were the same size as high school. And she posts all the time here in the group. So she's become a health missionary, as I call them. So you have to deal with the autoimmune disease as well. That's how you reverse it. Now, whether or not you'll be able to get off thyroid medicine really depends on when you reverse it. So the thyroid is being attacked, and over time it will die, right? There's pieces of it that die. So if you are still inflamed, but the thyroid's not dead, then you'll be able to lower your medicine dose or even eliminate the medicine. In our last group, we had someone who had to first get off her high blood pressure medicine, and then after that she had to get off her thyroid medicine. And we knew that because all of a sudden she was getting really jittery and getting the runs and not feeling good. And I said, that sounds like your thyroid. So she talked to her doctor, and sure enough, her dose was now too high because her thyroid was working again. So that's the best case scenario. For some folks, by the time they come to me, they've already had hypothyroid, Hashimotos for 20 years. There is no thyroid to speak of. So they still continue on their thyroid medicine dose, but they no longer have the symptoms of autoimmune disease. They have tons of energy. They feel healthy. You want to feel healthy, right? So it's a really good question. And it's one that's not talked about enough in medicine as an autoimmune disease, really. Okay, Sam Labare says, I got the okay from my nephrologist to go off CellCept so we can start trying for kids. She said I need to detox from the medicine for about 6 months before we can actually start trying. Can the protocol help me detox faster? So there's a few things here that are swirling around in my mind when I read this. First of all, are you coming off your medicine because you are healed? Or are you coming off your medicine because you want to have children and get pregnant even though you're not healthy yet? So I get some trepidation or nervousness when I hear people wanting to get pregnant while they have active autoimmune disease, just because of two big issues. One, it's dangerous to be pregnant when you have autoimmune disease because you can get sicker, right? And then you have less choices of meds to treat you. There's a lot of women who call me for the first time in the ICU after giving birth, right? I don't want anyone to get sicker. The most important thing is you and your health. If baby doesn't have a mommy to take care of him, that's not a good situation. So sometimes I feel like people want children so badly and they're like, oh, what matters is the kid, and they forget that the kid needs you. So I get a little nervous about that. So that's one thing. And let me see. Oh, there was two, but now I got all worried about you and I forgot the other one. So that's one question I have is, are you actually healed, right? The other issue, the neuron just fired. Thank you, ALA. The other thing is when you're pregnant, sometimes it's hard to eat, right? So I know, like for me, when I get pregnant, even though I'm very healthy, when the sperm and the egg meet, I vomit. And I vomit the whole time. I just can't stop throwing up. So it's very hard. It's very hard to drink smoothie and do all that stuff when it's just spewing out. I mean, I had to keep detailing the inside of my car every time I had a smoothie because I would just throw up as soon as I started driving. Right? So I had someone recently who tried to do rapid recovery after she got pregnant. And what happened was she already had lupus nephritis. She did my protocol and she reversed it, but not fully. She added back junk too fast. You got to be careful about that. Healing is a process that takes time. So sometimes people go, oh, my labs look really good and I'm feeling better, but it's only been a couple months, and then they add back meat and dairy and junk and then they backslide. So don't do that. But she did that and got sick again. And then instead of getting healthy again before getting pregnant, she got pregnant sick. Then she got pregnant and her kidneys started failing more rapidly. So that's when she called me and goes, I need help for rapid recovery. And I was like, oh crap. So now we have a situation where you're sick again, you're pregnant, and she could not, her food cravings and all that, she didn't want the healing food. She kept eating other things. She kept eating chicken and other things. She couldn't get all of her smoothies in. And we were trapped. We were trapped because the way I help you get your health back is through food. So if you can't eat, we're stuck. I have helped multiple people reverse lupus and Sjogren's while pregnant, but they were able to drink their smoothies and do what they needed to do. So when you get pregnant, you're rolling the dice. You don't know if you're going to be that person who feels fine and can drink a gallon of smoothie a day, or if you're going to be that person who just can't stop puking and is just munching on bagels, you know, and you're just not getting any nutrition. So I don't like waiting for pregnancy to worry about getting healthy. I think healthy first. So that aside, if you're already healthy and that's why you're coming off your meds, then congratulations. That's fantastic. Then yes, this will help you get better faster, but I would still trust your doctor on that. You know, better safe than sorry. So if he thinks 6 months to detox off of it, yes, probably if you're doing the smoothies full on, you'll detox faster, but why take chances, right? It's a baby. That baby has a full life to live. Let's give him or her the best shot possible. If you're not healthy yet and you want to have kids, jump into the next group. We'll do rapid recovery, get you super healthy, and then you have a much better shot at having healthy pregnancy. So I hope that helps. Really, really great question. I know it's meaningful to have children. For me, I never planned on kids. Like I thought I would have kids one day, but I was okay with adopting. I was okay with a surrogate. My best friend, Stephanie, said that she would be my surrogate. So I wasn't ever going to risk my health in order to have a baby. I just figured, I just accepted that part. Once I was healthy for 4 years with no sign of lupus, that's the first time I said, you know what, I think I want to do this. And of course, everyone still thought I was nuts, but I could feel that I was healthy and I'd had normal labs for 4 years. So, you want to be healthy first if you can. And there's lots of ways to have kids, right? And let's see. Corey Kimball wants to know the highest temperature food can be heated and still be considered to be raw. The raw community says it's 118 degrees. I've never tested the activity of warmed foods versus raw foods, so I can't tell you 100% that 118 degrees are always safe. That is, someone did that testing and has posted that. Usually what I say is if you're going to dehydrate foods, just don't count that towards your totals. So if you want to have some dehydrated kale chips that you heated to 115 degrees or 118 degrees, you can have that, but just don't count it towards your total kale. All right, Corey again wants to know suggestions for dental care while sipping smoothies all day at work. I have secondary Sjogren's and my teeth feel coated with sugar despite drinking through a straw and swishing rarely with water. We can't keep personal items in the restroom, so I'd like something I can stash in my desk or purse. I floss once a day, brush twice a day with Sonicare toothbrush, and regularly chew xylitol gum. So it's tough when you have Sjogren's. If you don't have saliva to wash things away, you have much more issues with dental problems. So I would take a toothbrush to work. There's ones that have little lids to keep it sanitized, or keep it safe. I would take a toothbrush and brush your teeth after lunch, or, after maybe you wait like an hour after a smoothie and brush. That's what I would do, just because you don't have that natural sugar and natural saliva, and definitely use a straw. Ricky just wants to say thank you all so much. I'm doing this slowly but getting there. You're welcome. Here's Ricky. Hello, I've been associated with a company that does powdered shakes as meal replacements, and the company produces a supplement that kills glycosates in our food. The more I study your approach, the more I like what I'm being taught to do as one who's plagued by lupus, fibromyalgia, Sjogren's, Raynaud's, and now just recently rashes. What do you think about glycosates that are potentially in veggies and other foods you eat? I have not seen it be an issue, and that's what the most important thing is. Every time someone asks me about different issues, like people ask me about oxalates, like, oh my God, can you get too much oxalates from greens? Are you going to get kidney stones? I don't, like I said earlier, I don't go by beliefs, and I don't tell you what I think because I'm a human. I might think the wrong thing, right? So I only tell you what I know because of results. I have not seen people have issues eating high amounts of raw vegetables. I've never had people suddenly develop kidney stones, right? Think about it. We have in this group thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all over the world drinking pounds of greens a day. If it was a problem, you'd have the whole group going, oh my God, my stones. So I base it off that, right? We have a really good pool of people where we can see what goes on. Kidney stones are usually caused by animal protein and dehydration. So same thing with the glycosates. There's lots of ideas and theories out there. Everyone with a mouth has an opinion. People read things and have thoughts. I just care about what's happening in real people. People who eat tons of vegetables get healthier, and they get healthier quickly. And the more they eat, the faster they get healthy. So that's what I go by. So that's my answer to that. Let's see here. And Ricky Fuller wants to know, when will there be another healing class? I want to sign up and I told it's expired. Let me see here. Are you talking about my healing group or my classes? So Next Rapid Recovery group, that starts right now on plan January 19th. Next healing classes will probably start the first week of January. So if you go to goodbyelupus.com, you can find a banner somewhere that has a link to those classes. All right, let's see. Yeah, the old classes are expired. Okay. Linda B. White, if I keep my jug of smoothie in the fridge because I wasn't able to finish it, can I drink it the next day? Will I still get the same goodness? Yes, I think if you drink the smoothie within 24 hours, you're fine. You'll know it by the smell. If you have smoothie and you open it up and you're like, okay, that's rotting, get rid of it. Tom will still drink it if it's just a little bit of a rot smell. For me, I'm sensitive. I have a really easy gag reflex because of the pregnancy issue. I still will throw up way too easy. So if it smells like a little bit of rot, I'm not doing it. But I find if I make it sometime in the middle of the day, I can still drink it the next morning and it's fine. Especially if you have it filled to the top so there's a tight seal and there's not much air getting. It's the oxidation of the air that causes the rotting. So yeah, just check that out. But there's a lot of folks who, let's say they have trouble getting up early or they don't want to wake up the house with their blender. They make it the night before, they drink it the next day, it's fine. Lois Jackson, do you treat heat intolerance? I don't know what causes mine. Are there any tests I can do to find out why I have this? So there are medical issues that can cause that. So it depends. Have you always been intolerant to heat? Like you're just super hot running person? Hello. So Facebook decided enough's enough and I can't answer any more questions, but I'm back. So for those of you who are already watching the live and you got cut off, I'm back. If you're seeing this one first, just know there's another live that I already did answering a whole bunch of questions today. So just scroll down and you'll find me in the same shirt and you'll know that it was me. Okay, so I was just answering Lois Jackson about your question about heat intolerance. So what I was saying was there are some people who naturally run hotter than others. I'm not talking about attractiveness. I'm talking about your how comfortable you are, hot versus cold. My husband is a heater. Thomas Tadlock is always hot. I mean, he's my heater in the bed. And when we're in bed, I'm in clothes. I got socks on, right? I got my fireplace on right now, right? He's in a t-shirt. So, and you know, he's sleeping in boxers and he's hot. He's on top of the blanket. I'm under the blanket. So some of us are just hotter by nature, right? It also has to do with the fact that he's got pounds and pounds of muscle warming him up, right? I've got very little body fat. That'll also make you colder. So things like that. So some of it is just natural, has nothing to do with illness. Sometimes it does though. So if you were normally someone who reacted the same as everybody else, but now suddenly you're feeling too hot all the time, that could be a sign of illness. Specifically, it could be hyperthyroid. So an overactive thyroid will cause that. It'll cause you to feel hot all the time, weight loss. And that's something to look at. Sometimes it could be autoimmune disease. Sometimes people will have a lot of fevers early on before they get diagnosed. So definitely go to your doctor and find out if there's any cause that that there could be. Hello, Satinder. Oh, hello, Shalom. Hi, Nir. All right, so let me just do a few more. So I'm sorry again about the cutoff of the last one. Facebook apparently has a limit to how long they want me to help you guys. All right. Ruma Insta wants to know, do you need probiotics to heal? I don't feel particularly bloated, but I'm wondering whether there was another benefit to them other than reduced bloatings. In other words, if my bowel movements are normal, should I take them just in case to make sure that I'm not low on any good bacteria? And two, should you avoid iodine if you have Hashimotos? So one, you don't have to take probiotics. I used to do the program with people without probiotics. I just found that most people who don't have healthy gut bacteria, they are just so painfully bloated and gassy, and it's fine. It's not a health problem. You know, people freak out. What am I doing wrong? I'm bloated. I'm like, nothing. Put some sweatpants on. Your gut has to learn how to eat this food. But probiotics can really help. If you're not having any issues and you're healing and feeling great, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. And let's see here. No, I think it's good to have some iodine in your system if you have Hashimoto's, especially with all the cruciferous veggies that you're eating. All right, let's see, I'll just do a couple more. And thank you, Rose Crunchy, for tagging people to where they ask questions. It's very sweet of you. You're always sweet. Nita Jechu. Sorry if I got that wrong. Hello, Dr. G. My skin will rash when I touch light or sunlight. I went to the doctor, did some blood testing. They diagnosed me with lupus SLE, but after my blood test, the result of my test is negative. I'm already checked for ANA, ACA, ANA profile, RF, ASTA, CRP. All the results are negative. What should I do? Well, number one, celebrate that you don't have lupus. Number two, we need to figure out what the heck's going on. So your skin is a really great indicator of what's going on in your body. I think of the skin as a primary place where the check engine light comes on. You know, when you're driving your car, if something's wrong with your car, that light pops on to tell you something's wrong. Fuel's low, right? If you don't fill up, what's going to happen? Car's going to break down, right? Time for an oil change. If you don't take care of that, car's going to break down. So the check engine light is an early warning that stuff's going wrong, and if you don't fix it, then you're going to have a problem. So I take early symptoms like this in absence of positive labs as your early warning system from your body saying there's inflammation here, it's causing rashes, right? That's inflammation of your skin. Realize your skin is the last organ to receive hydration and nutrition. So it's often the first organ to show illness. So if your skin is flaring up, I would go into the Hyper-nourishing Protocol, fix that so that you can then get healthy again. Because for most people with autoimmune disease, their labs are negative 5 to 10 years before they get diagnosed with the disease. So you don't want to wait. And that's what I just saw someone this week that, you know, her doctor said, you have the symptoms, but your labs aren't positive yet. So wait till your labs are positive and then we'll medicate you. That is not a fun outlook, right? Get yourself healthy now and just avoid ever getting a diagnosis, because photosensitivity, sensitivity to the sun causing rashes, that is a classic autoimmune symptom. Don't wait for autoimmune disease. Treat it now. Get into hypernourishment, get on a whole food plant-based diet, get in all of your smoothies, follow the protocols I have in Goodbye Lupus, and make sure that you're doing it 100% so you can get rid of the symptom before it develops into a disease. All right, let me see. Kiki. All right, Kiki says, Dr. G, it's very interesting that ever since I've been on the smoothies, I'm craving salt. Also, I switched to unprocessed salt like Himalayan Celtic sea salt. Do you think that's an issue? Maybe I'm not consuming iodine. What could the cravings for salt indicate? More likely you're just more hydrated. So most folks, they eat lots of salty processed foods that have a lot of salt, and they don't drink much water, so they're used to having a certain balance. Then you add smoothies, which have a ton of water in them. Maybe you've increased your water intake, so probably the case that you're just more hydrated than before. And which is a good thing, by the way. Kiki, how does it work in your recovery group? Do you review our lab work and give us recommendations based on that? Or is that something you only do in one-on-one? Yes, so even though the Rapid Recovery Group is a group format, everybody gets personal attention. So the way it works is when you join the group, I send you out paperwork to fill out. And in the paperwork, I get your whole health history. What are your current symptoms? What's going on with you? You can send me any labs that indicate how your health is going. So I like to see anything that shows me what's going on with you. It helps me design your nutrition plan. So if somebody's got, end-stage kidney disease, I'm going to give them a personalized plan that's going to be lower in potassium. I'm going to make sure we watch their salt. So we make adjustments depending on the person. So you get a personalized plan based on your issues. And then every single day, you have to submit your journal. So everybody gets a journal to fill out. It's one page, but it tracks everything you eat and all of your symptoms. So every day I can see what you're eating and also make sure your symptoms are going in the right direction. And if they're not, I can make adjustments. So it's a way to get daily adjustments and focus and make sure you're doing it right. Even though we do all this free content, there's a lot of people who still don't know how to make their smoothie right. And for most people, it takes at least 1 to 2 weeks to get the smoothie right. We also give all the emotional support. So the majority of changing your health comes from here and from here, right? Your emotions, your fears, your worries, peer pressure, all that kind of stuff, right? And the thoughts, the things you tell yourself about what's happening. So it's also extremely heavy in emotional support. So on any given day, there's also a live thread of just places to ask for help. And Thomas and I are very busy in there every day. So all day long, not only does every person get personal feedback to what they ate the day before, but you also get constant live feedback on anything that's going on with you. So it is personalized. It's just that your questions and your interaction with us is in a group format. We also do live meetings every week where everybody shows up and can ask their questions live, and we give you we answer them. So instead of it, my one-on-one program, you're only talking to me personally. In the group, you're asking your question and everyone in the group hears it, which is also cool because everyone in the group grows and learns from each other as well. And then the group itself is just a ton of camaraderie. I mean, everybody's there sharing recipes, they're giving each other love. I mean, there's folks who can comment who have been in previous groups that it's just a family. It's very quickly a close, solid family because for most people, they've never hung out with so many other people who are going through the same thing. Support groups, everybody's sick and dying. Support groups to me are depressing. I tried going to a support group when I had lupus when I was 16. It was horrifying. Everybody was sicker than me. I'm like, oh my God, this is what's gonna happen to me. I was just new to lupus. I'm looking at people who've had lupus 15 years sitting in wheelchairs. And I'm like, ugh, so it was horrible. Nobody got better. this support group, everybody is healing, and it's so cool, you know? So even if you're having a rough day, somebody posts, oh my God, I woke up with no swelling in my wrist today. And then you go, oh my God, it's working, it's real, you know? So it's like this constant validation of this is real, this is happening. And then there's lots of work, there's assignments as well to work on the mental part. So there's the healing mindset. How do you think like me? How do you think like Thomas so that you can solve your problems and take care of yourself to the best of your ability rather than continuing with all the habits that got you sick to begin with? So it's far beyond just nutrition. That group is about changing your lifestyle 100%. And most people, when you look at, if you go to goodbyelupus.com and you go to you click on the tab that says Goodbye Lupus and scroll down, you'll see all these videos that people send me. And a lot of those videos, people say, I'm not the same person anymore. That's why. They're not, it's not because they changed their diet that they're not the same person anymore. It's because we've reprogrammed how they think and talk to themselves, in addition to how they take care of themselves. Most people never take care of themselves. I tell them to take a little time out for meditation. They're like, time? What time? But meanwhile, they're up till 2 a.m. cleaning their floors. So it's really a reprogramming of how you take care of yourself so that you can live like a healthy person, and the healing comes fast. So it's pretty darn awesome. So it is personalized. The one-on-one program, it costs more, but you get unlimited cell phone contact with me. So instead of everybody in the group, it's a small group, you know, we cap it at 30, which it's half full already. We always sell out. So the group's something you want to do it. But in the group, you know, you ask me a question, everyone hears your question in that small group. There are some people who, one, either they can't wait for the group to start, like even waiting a couple weeks is just too far away, and because their kidneys are failing or something's going on. Oh, sorry. Or they just want private attention. Then they'll do it through the 4-week program. But I actually, if you can, you know, if you can, I recommend the group because I think the camaraderie adds so much. It's beautiful. I'm always crying in the group by how much love people give each other. It's just gorgeous. All right, this person from Austin really wants to talk to me. Okay, let me just ask one more and then I'll find out what the emergency is there. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Kiki. Oh, another one from Kiki. Dr. G, I just heard you mentioning an evergreen program you're creating. I'm assuming it'll be cheaper. So I was talking about the classes. I'm trying to work on that. So in the works, yes, working on classes that'll be evergreen, because I know even though the reason I like to do my classes live is I want to make sure people understand the content. So I like being there to do the class with you so then I can answer your questions and make sure you have it. But I've had a lot of requests from people who just want to be able to access them anytime. So I'm working on that. And hopefully one day a program where that's something else that's in the works, where kind of a do-it-yourself program for people who are not able to do the program where you work with us directly. But if you're super sick, you want our support, because interpreting what's happening with you, right, is important. But we hear the requests, and we're constantly working to create more stuff for you guys to help you wherever you are in your journey. So those are things that are coming in the future, but I don't have that for you right now. But it's in the future. Okay. But if you're struggling with your health, just let us help you. Thomas and I, we're really good at helping people heal. That's all we do. We're really good at it. So yeah, let us help you so we can get rid of this problem. All right, and this last one, Rowan. Hi, Rowan. Dr. G, you and Thomas are my heroes. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Truly amazing human beings, and I feel I can really relate to you and your story. I have 3 questions for Dr. G. After dealing with SLE and severe nephritis since I was 8 years old, along with many other wonderful issues lupus brings with it, sarcasm alert, as you know, finding your book has been a literal lifesaver. Now at 25 years old, I recently lost 90 pounds with diet and exercise. I was able to get off all of my many medications by choice. I was feeling the best I ever have in my life. Okay, now you're making me cry. That's wonderful. I'm now still in remission, 2 years med-free according to my doctors. Awesome. Okay, so here's now the but. All right, recently though, I've been suffering from some horrible pleurisy for months, not being able to do about 75% of my daily exercise and laying down thankful. I've been on healing protocol for 2 weeks, and I'm grateful to have found your book. I was eating too much, quote, healthy oils. But here's my questions. So question 1, if I take a small amount of prednisone for a limited time tell me with the flare, will it prolong my healing? No, lots of people start my program on prednisone. If it helps you, I mean, pleurisy is painful, you can't breathe. If your doctor wants to give you some steroids to help get that down, then it won't interfere with your ability to heal. You just have to be careful. Sometimes coming off the steroids can cause not a flare of the disease, but a flare of symptoms. So just be aware of that when you're tapering. 2, I love to juice veggies. Can I add this to the protocol, or am I wasting time and money? It doesn't add to your healing, so if you like it, do it, but you don't need to do it with the smoothies. The phone is going nonstop, guys. All right, and let's see. Wait. 3, I intermittently fast currently. If I'm able to fit in smoothies and salad in the 8-hour window, am I okay to fast throughout the day with your healing protocol? I don't recommend fasting, because the whole point of the healing protocol is the more you eat of the healing foods, the faster you get better. So why eat all the foods in 8 hours? Why not eat all day long? I believe the hunger. Every time someone's hungry, I'm like, great, it's an opportunity to shove more healing food in. So I recommend that you eat all of it. Again, love you guys and the work you're doing. You've inspired me to become a holistic nutritionist. I'm starting class in the near future. Food truly is medicine. I'm so grateful to you for showing the world that. Many blessings on your beautiful family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. I'm really, really glad. Thank you for posting that so everyone can see what's possible, right? So just changing your diet to be better, especially, people use plant-based diets, they can often achieve remission. That's great. There's a difference between remission and full recovery, and usually there's something wrong. So as Rowan discovered, I was eating other oils that I shouldn't be. When you dial it in and do the protocol 100%, that's when we see people truly recover. I mean, constantly I see people, their ANA is now negative. They have no more antibodies. They have no more symptoms. Once those are negative, that's when I consider that full recovery. But heck, even a great remission, that's great. Remission off meds, fabulous. So thank you also for your testimony of what food can do. I can tell you both as a former lupus patient and as a physician, nothing in my experience has ever been more powerful in bringing people back to health as the right nutrition. So eat the right foods, take care of yourself. Remember, the right food is love. This is a treat, not a brownie, not a cake, not fries. This is a treat because it's real love, okay? So remember, the smoothie loves you back, not the cheese. The cheese doesn't really love you, okay? Smoothie loves you back. Take great care of yourself, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. See you guys soon.